Ready to see the future through the lens of the past? Welcome to Endtime Prophecy Stories. Here we dive deep into ancient mysteries and uncover what lies ahead in a world filled with uncertainty. But we can't do it without you. If you want to stay prepared and never miss a revelation, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. And if you find value in these stories, give this video a like. It helps us reach more truth seekers just like you. Now let's open the seal on today's story. The Abomination of Desolation. Chapter 1. Echoes of the Crusade. The Appalachian dawn was cold and gray, the sun rising like a bruised eye over the edge of the plain. The mist clung to the valley floor, heavy and wet, obscuring the burned-out husks of vehicles that littered the interstate below. Jace Vance lay prone in the mud, covered by a ghillie suit fashioned from dead leaves and trash bags. Through the scope of his stolen DMR, he watched the tree line. Movement, whispering Amara's voice cracked over the localized comms. She was inside the cabin, monitoring the thermal sensors they had rigged. 6 heat signatures, moving fast. They aren't peacekeepers. I see them, Jace whispered. They weren't the Vatican's new peacekeepers in their crisp white uniforms. These men wore tattered flak jackets and red armbands that had turned brown with filth and old blood. They were the remnants of Julian Sterling's Crusaders, men who refused to accept the Pope's peace because it meant giving up their warlord fantasies. They were raiders now, scavengers picking the bones of the world Sterling had helped break. They're heading for the generator, Amara said. Not today, Jace, steadying his aim. He squeezed the trigger. The suppressed crack was swallowed by the density of the humid air. The lead raider dropped, a hole in his chest. The remaining 5 scrambled. They didn't retreat. They were desperate. They opened fire on the cabin, their bullets chewing up the wood. Jace moved. He didn't stay in one spot. He rolled, stood, and sprinted to a secondary position behind a stack of logs. He switched to his sidearm. Amara, kill the lights, Jace ordered. Inside the cabin, Amara cut the main breaker. The sudden darkness inside confused the 2 raiders kicking down the back door. Jace flanked them. He moved with the brutal efficiency of a man who had stopped feeling remorse 3 months ago. Double tap. Chest, head, chest, head. The fight was over in 40 seconds. Jace stood over the leader of the group, a man gasping for air, clutching a gut wound. The man looked up at Jace with wild, fanatical eyes. The storm is coming, the raider wheezed. Sterling was just the beginning. Sterling is dead, Jace said cold-bloodedly. The bishop. The man spat blood. The bishop of the world. He eats the sun. The man died. Jace frowned. He searched the body. In the man's pocket he found a crumpled pamphlet. It wasn't Sterling's propaganda. It was an intricate diagram of a woman riding a beast with 7 heads. Amara, Jace called out. Pack the drives. We can't stay here. And I think we've been looking at the wrong enemy. Chapter 2. The Forbidden Archive. They moved north, avoiding the peacekeeper patrols that were scanning citizens for the new Unity ID. They drove an old diesel truck that lacked the electronic tracking chips mandated by the Vatican's Unity Accord. Where are we going? Amara asked, typing furiously on her deck, scrubbing their digital trail. My grandfather, Jace said, eyes on the road. He was a preacher, old school, believed the earth was flat, believed the sky was glass, and believed the Pope was the devil. They locked him up in a mental institution in 25. He had a cabin near the Canadian border. A library. A library? We have the internet, Jace, or what's left of it. The internet is scrubbed, Jace said. Perthelite algorithms rewrite history in real time. If you want the truth, you need ink on paper. You need books they couldn't edit. It took them 3 days to find it. The cabin was deep in the Adirondacks, overgrown and forgotten. Inside, it smelled of dust and mildew. But beneath the floorboards, in a concrete storm cellar, they found it. Floor-to-ceiling shelves packed with books. Fox's Book of Martyrs, The Great Controversy, Daniel and the Revelation, maps of the ancient world. Amara picked up a dusty volume on the history of Rome. You think the answer to a 2035 technocratic takeover is in a history book? I think history is a circle, Jace said, lighting a kerosene lamp. And we're at the end of the line. Sterling talked about ethnos, race against race. But look at this. He slammed a book open to a timeline. It matched the pamphlet the raider had carried. Babylon, Media Persia, Greece, Rome, Jace read. And then, the feet of iron and clay. Chapter 3, The Feet of Iron and Clay. For a week, they didn't sleep. They read Amara, with her mind built for pattern recognition and code, began to see the structure of the data. She pinned charts to the wooden walls of the cellar. It fits, she muttered, her eyes wide. Jace, look at the timeline. She pointed to the diagram of the metal statue from the Book of Daniel. Head of gold was Babylon, Amara explained, tracing the line. Chest of silver, Media Persia. Thighs of bronze, Greece. Legs of iron, Rome. The Roman Empire ruled the world with an iron fist, but it didn't disappear. It fell apart into 10 divisions, the 10 toes. Europe, Jace said. The 10 tribes of Europe. Exactly, but the prophecy says, they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. European leaders, Charlemagne, Napoleon, Hitler, the EU, they all tried to unite the continent into one empire again. They all failed. Until now, Jace said darkly. The Unity Accord. Right, but look at what holds them together. Amara pointed to the next symbol on the chart, a bizarre beast with a little horn that grew out of the Roman head. The prophecy says this power comes up among the 10. It plucks up 3. It speaks great words against the Most High. It thinks to change times and laws. Jace leaned in. Who is it? Amara pulled up a file she had hacked from the Vatican servers weeks ago, but hadn't understood until now. The location, Amara whispered. Rome. The 7 hills. The colors. Scarlet and purple. Jace, it's not a political nation. It's a religious political power. It's the papacy. Chapter 4, The Deadly Wound. I thought the papacy was irrelevant, Jace said, pacing the small room. Just old men in robes. That's the trick, Amara said, flipping pages in a history text. Look at the dates. The papacy ruled supreme for 1260 years. From 538 AD, when they destroyed the Ostrogoths, to 1798 AD. What happened in 1798? Napoleon's general, Berthier, marched into Rome and took the Pope captive. The political power of the church was broken. The prophecy calls it a deadly wound. It looked like the beast was dead. Amara turned to a digital screen she had set up. She pulled up a news clip from 1929, the signing of the Lateran Treaty. Mussolini gave the Vatican its sovereignty back, Amara said. The newspaper headline that day read, "The wound is healed." And since then, they've been gathering power, quietly, diplomatically, infiltrating every nation. And now, Jace realized, after the chaos Sterling caused, after the world burned, the wound is fully healed. The whole world wanders after the beast. It gets worse, Amara said, her voice trembling. I started digging into the financial back end of Perthelite Industries, Thorne's company. Thorne is dead. Thorne is hiding, Amara corrected. But look at the shareholders. Shell companies within shell companies. But they all trace back to one bank. The Vatican Bank? older, the Jesuit treasury, the hidden hand, Jace, the tech companies, the surveillance state, the chaotic race wars. It was all engineered to destabilize the nations so they would accept a moral authority to take over. The iron of the Roman state mixed with the clay of the church. Chapter 5. The Secret Societies. Jace sat down heavily. The scope of it was crushing. He had fought in wars his whole life, thinking he was fighting for territory or resources. He realized now he had been a pawn in a game that spanned centuries. The secret societies, Jace said. The raider mentioned a bishop of the world. My grandfather used to talk about the Jesuits. They're the intelligence agency, Amara said. The Black Pope, Adolfo Nicholas, Arturo Ricci. The names change, but the vow remains. Total submission. They infiltrate governments, education systems, and corporations. She pulled up a list of names. High-ranking officials in the UN, CEOs of major agritech firms, media moguls. They're all Knights of Malta, Freemasons, or Jesuit-educated, Amara said. It's a web, a worldwide web. They don't need to occupy countries with tanks anymore. They occupy the minds of the leaders. And the goal? Jace asked. Just power? Control, Amara said. But specifically, population control. I decrypted the Ethnos protocol fully. It wasn't just about starting a race war. It was a stress test. For what? For the Great Reset, or as they call it in their internal emails, the Chazown implementation. Chapter 6. The 500 million. Amara projected a new document onto the wall. It was a manifesto, written in Latin and coded with advanced cryptography. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. 500 million, Jace repeated. There were 8 billion people a decade ago. The wars, the famines, and Sterling's purge took us down to about 6 billion, Amara said. But that's still too many for them to control completely. They want a feudal system, Jace. Lords and serfs. They want to return to the Dark Ages, but with high-tech surveillance. So the pale horse virus, Jace started. It's the mechanism, Amara confirmed. The food aid the Vatican is distributing? It contains mRNA modifiers. It sterilizes 80% of recipients and weakens the immune systems of the rest. They are creating a die-off, a slow, manageable genocide. Jace slammed his fist into the table, splintering the wood. We have to kill them. We have to go to Rome and cut the head off the snake. It won't work, Amara said softly. The prophecy says the beast continues until the very end, until the stone cut without hands destroys the image. That means God does it, not us. If we go to Rome, we die for nothing. So we just watch them kill the world? No, Amara said. We warn the people. The prophecy says that before the end, this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world. It says a message goes out. Come out of her, my people. We have to be the voice. Chapter 7. The Mark. There's one more thing, Amara said. She looked terrified. What? The mark of the beast. Everyone thinks it's a chip or a barcode. Isn't it? It's about authority, Amara explained, pointing to the timeline. The little horn thinks to change times and laws. Which law did they change? She opened the Bible to Exodus 20. The fourth commandment, she said. The Sabbath. It commemorates the Creator. It acknowledges the earth was made, not evolved. It acknowledges God's authority. And the papacy? They changed it to Sunday, the day of the sun. They claim it as their mark of ecclesiastical authority, a mark of allegiance. Amara pulled up a leaked draft of the Vatican's next decree, the Climate Restoration Act, 2035. To heal the earth and restore the family, All nations shall observe a mandatory day of rest. All commerce shall cease on the first day of the week. This is necessary to lower carbon emissions and honor the divine peace. They're going to enforce it, Jace said. Economic sanctions. You can't buy or sell unless you keep their day. It's not about the day, Jace. It's about who you obey. The state-church combo, or the creator. Chapter 8. Connecting the dots. The realization hit them both. The flat earth cosmology, the enclosed system, the specific history. It all pointed to a creator. The powers that be knew this. They were hiding the nature of the world to hide the nature of God. If the earth is a plane, Jace mused, then we aren't a speck of dust in a random universe. We are center stage. And if we are center stage, then this rebellion matters. They are trying to storm the throne, Amara said. They want to be the gods of this world. That's why they need to reduce the population. They can't play God to 8 billion people. But 500 million? That they can manage. Jace stood up and walked to the weapons cache he had brought in from the truck. He picked up his rifle, but then he set it down. He picked up a microphone instead. "Can you patch into the worldwide emergency band?" Jace asked. "I can hijack the Perthelite satellite array," Amara said, a dangerous smile crossing her face. "I still have the back door keys, but once I do, they will find us. We'll have maybe 10 minutes before a drone strike vaporizes this cabin." 10 minutes is enough, Jace said. "We tell them the truth. We tell them about the sterilization. We tell them about the Sunday law coming. We tell them about the history. And then we go underground, deep." Chapter 9. The Loud Cry. The signal went out at 0300 hours Rome time. Every screen in the Unity Zone flickered. The face of the Pope, giving a benign homily, was replaced by a static-filled image of Jace Vance, scarred and gritty, sitting in a dimly lit room. "Citizens of the Earth," Jace's voice grated like gravel, "you are being farmed." For 6 minutes, Amara flashed the documents on the screen. The sterilization rates, the Jesuit emails, the history of the 1260 years of persecution, the plan for the 500 million. "They call it peace," Jace roared into the mic, "but it is a graveyard. They are sterilizing your children. They are preparing to force you to bow to a system that has soaked the earth in blood for 1,000 years. Do not take their aid. Do not take their mark. Flee the cities." Amara overlaid the timeline image, the statue, the beasts, the timeline of prophecy that made it clear. "The time is at hand," Jace said. "The feet of iron and clay are crumbling. Do not go down with the statue." "Signal tracing!" Amara yelled. "They found the uplink! Drone inbound! 2 minutes!" "Cut the feed!" Jace grabbed the hard drives. Amara grabbed the ancient Bible. They burst out of the cabin into the cold night air. The sound of a jet engine screamed overhead. "Into the mine shaft!" Jace shoved Amara toward the old ventilation opening of the abandoned iron mine nearby. They dove into the darkness just as the cabin exploded. A Hellfire missile turned the library, the history, and their shelter into a crater of burning debris. Chapter 10. The Wilderness. Deep underground, the air was cool and smelled of wet stone. The mine shaft connected to a cave system that ran for miles under the mountains. Jace clicked on his tactical light. Amara was dusting herself off, clutching the drives. "Did it work?" she asked, her voice echoing in the gloom. "We lit the match," Jace said. "Now we see if the world catches fire." He checked his wrist computer. The worldwide network was in chaos. The broadcast had been seen by 3 billion people before the kill switch was hit. Riots were already breaking out in London, Sao Paulo, and New York. The Vatican was issuing denials. The peacekeepers were "They're going to hunt us," Amara said. "Every drone, every satellite, every spy. Let them hunt, Jace said, moving deeper into the tunnel. We aren't fighting a war of bullets anymore, Amara. We're fighting a war of witnesses, and we just gave the world the testimony. He looked at the rock walls around them. Revelation 12, Jace said. The woman, the true church, fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared solely for her. We're the woman? Amara asked, arching a brow. We're the remnant, Jace corrected, and we have work to do. We need to find the others who heard the message. We need to build the underground railroad. Jace checked the magazine of his pistol, then holstered it. Come on, he said. The end is just starting. They walked into the darkness, leaving the burning surface world behind, ready to survive the tribulation.
For more Bible-based end-time prophecy dramas to strengthen your faith and the faith of others, help spread the word by supporting the channel. Please like, subscribe, and share.